Central Market. The library's closed. Today is Caesar Childhood. My fashion sense. So I'm sending my GoFundMe campaign to people through Instagram, bright and early, seeking the death penalty. For everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. For everyone that steals money. Everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. Everyone that steals my vehicles. Everyone that's caused for Jada and Kalani to be separated from me. You can decapitate behind me and sweaters on the sons that raped me. That steal my money, the way we receive money. I think their names are Andrew, Albert, Alex, whatever. H. Anyways, I'm looking for an article to share with the person. No answer. 1 week sounds good. COVID, good price, vaccine, skepticism, maybe preparedness for next month. That they do this when see and say to Jaden Kailani's son and daughter pretending to be me and keep on puerco. He pretends to be me in my home, but lost my virginity 4 decades ago. Haciéndose pasar por mí. Da un asco, una basura. Yeah. Look at the copy this, mom. I'm tagging the FBI in this post. NATO. What else? 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 More. Tagging the Interpol, the U.S. Department of Justice. Process 619 at the deli. Yesterday I saw that too. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? International Criminal Court, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Justice Department in the United States, maybe NATO, maybe Marines, maybe the Navy, maybe Coast Guard, maybe the U.S. Air Force. I'm seeking the death penalty for everyone that steals money, everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money, everyone that steals my vehicles, everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. My second cousins are leeches. I'm killing them on this open. What else? What else? What else? It's so bored. So bored. Need a home for myself. Dating can only eat stuff and I don't have any money. That took away the edge of wanting to get Vegas. And I haven't Googled where's the hours are. I have to know one right in front of me. Then I would think I would want to kill self-defense. I purposely met my sibling destroy my sex life by continuing to show me who it is that my second cousins fuck in my home without my permission because I want the home sold. I want my money back. So my siblings think that I'm just gonna spend the rest of my days killing people in self-defense and not having sex. And to me, killing a person in self-defense, like flushing the toilet, can be done in between life. What else? I'm so bored. Anyways, I just stay at the best Western United or the San Antonio Hotel. Or where? Or the town. Or the town place sweets. That place is so good. The breakfast is so good. The next. And there's a TV on the market. Eden. But yeah, let's plan to stay tonight. Go shopping H&M. What else? What else? What else? What else? What's the best Western near the SeaWorld? What else? Let's see at the sweets. I finished stitching a piece that I have in my apartment. What else? Hampton. That's in their favorites. Lord. It's great. As soon as I moved out of my parents' home, I said, finally tengo un closet como la niña que se lo mama. I'm my own person, I'm my own individual. Yo no me comparo con nadie. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. Blaming my mother for his inadequacy. Ew. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate Benjamin's daughters and sons that raped me to steal my money and go away over your son. What else? Wants to mock me and be like, oh, I know tacos, I use on your chocolate all the time. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. Ew, 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 full street type, full blah, ew. Ew, 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 ew. I'm just looking to see if my previous video before I gave a compliment. What else? Gave a compliment earlier, so I want to know if my full video recorded. What else? Yeah, probably see it. What else? What else? What else? I want to take myself dancing to garden. To that order. I'm gonna keep going. But if I see some of my relatives that I know have stolen my money, I'll just go for the whole night. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate me, have me sort of son rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. That caused my starvation for more than 30 years. They terrorized my parents decades ago to starve me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Mm, no, that was a year. What else? What else? What else? What else? I would have cooked pancakes for my son today. And I don't want to. You can decapitate me from me, so this says that rape me and stay in my home, without my permission, that steal my vehicle, that steal my money. They hire illegal prostitutes to pretend to be me. They're so disgusting. El tipo un puerco. Creo que la bars is sense when they haven't. I ever on Instagram to remind myself of that. Just not today. What else? 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 No, I remember when I was in, I think I unfollowed um, Instagram. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons that rape me. That steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. And once I'm financially stable and plan to travel the planet and meet people, ideally polyamorous men. What else? Oh, Paris, historically. Oh, what was that I shared with you the other day. That's Bernard. My phone is turning off somehow. I have a plan to charge my laptop first. It's 30 minutes until it's done. And then charge my phone. Heading possibly to HEB to buy toilet paper and not flushing them in the toilet. It's not businesses either. My phone just turned. And what else do I need? I think I would need more yogurt. And then how what else? What else? So, what was that? What was it? I just shared that article from Union Pacific until I turned on my phone and I find that I can start posting again on Facebook on April 3rd. You can decapitate everyone that has caused my electricity to be passed through in my apartment. You can decapitate Magdalene Herrera. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What was it? Yes. I'm buying some of this number. I want overnight oats. Will you buy me? You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving. Un cuerpo no basura, una asquerosidad. Had I seen this before? The guy Randy Agerson in self-defense one day. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo's sons that raped me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. These are pretty. Diciembre29.com. I just found the Instagram we already knew about it. So now you gotta Western. Right there's a chick try to place it there. So when I visit, hopefully I remember you exist. Say that about it. How can a corpse be trying to influence people? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate me on my sons and sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of me receive money. What else? 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 Teaser Friday? Why do they all say something? That I love. Are they? What are they? Let's see. Una mujer que él sea la reina del planeta. El tipo es un bruto, él no sabe distinguir realidad from fantasy. El tipo es una asquerosidad, una brutalidad. Yo creo que era un juego por mí. Quiero obligar a Sandra Scott que se tire un peo por mí decades ago. Yo quería que yo la matara so that I would be known as the Druzy killer. Okay, he's jealous that I like Druzy more than him. El tipo no tiene personalidad. No tiene estándares de vida. Le abre el culo a cualquiera, literalmente. Una asquerosidad. Un tipo tan puerco. What else? What else? What else? It's the sex addict. So gross. Ew. What else? On Soledad. I give him 75. Wow, what's this word? And to the TV. Congratulations to those todo que saben. Ginny Lendariris asquerosidad. Lorenzo Suarez, Yendi Lorenzo Basura. She knows everything about my life. She's the only one people that knows everything about my life. La tipa una puerca, una asquerosidad. Se creía que me iba a coger de rey para yo estar contándole the menial things of life. Pero entonces llamarlo a él y decirle, no te quiero ver en soledad, no voy a decirle impactar si estás en San Antonio. Esa gente da un asco. Y él dice, oh my God, my wife no me deja ni tranquilo, se hace kidnapper. El tipo es un bruto. Él no entiende el significado de la palabra. Para él todo es palabra y ya. El tipo es un puerco. El tipo es un puerco. Una asquerosidad. You can decapitate Ginny Gendaliris or Lorenzo Suarez is stalking me. To find out si hoy se ponen 4 para él o no. Qué tipa tan puerca. Y él me roba el dinero para que yo lo salve de ese matrimonio. Tipo un bruto. Anyway, dan un asco, gente. Dan un asco. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo sons that rape me, steal my money, and get in the way of me receiving money. I think their names are Andrew, Albert, ha ha ha. To my siblings, if they thought that I would remember them, as if I forget they exist, as if Agar did bring them up to me decades ago, thinking that I'm not seeking the death penalty for them or exposing them for being gross. Good for a man to love me. For a man to love me, I just have to be myself and financially stable. Not hide that I'm a victim of abuse. They're so gross. Gross people I grew up around are so gross. They try to make one feel unworthy, trying one. Ew, la genitalidad esa se cree because of proximity to my mother's home. Decades ago that she has first dibs on my vagina and doesn't quit. Ew, pero una puerca asquerosidad. Ew. Ew. Did she rape Jaden Kehlani with how gross she is? Possibly. Ew. Jaden, ¿te recuerdas de mí? Me viste en la casa de mi mamá una vez. Because Jaden has no relationship with her. Does she parade herself with him and be like, this is my boyfriend? Lo cogió de rehén entonces. Even if he's attracted to her. Porque ella me roba mi dinero, se mete en mi casa sin mi permiso. Me roba mis vehículos. Se mete en mi vida para que la gente no me regale dinero. Trying to rape me, Jaden Kehlani. You get decapitated, Ginny Gendaliris Lorenzo Suarez immediately. Even though the International Criminal Court exists, I'm going to kill Ginny Gendaliris Lorenzo Suarez with my bare hands one day. Because I'm seeking the death penalty. Or Ginny Gendaliris Lorenzo Suarez, so if the FBI doesn't do it, I'm going to kill her myself. What else? Sending my GoFundMe campaign to go through email right now. What's the right now? What is this? I want a tan. I want a tan. What else? I'm hungry. Electricity. It's close to my apartment. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. You can decapitate me and Suarez Lorenzo sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. We're very compatible. Ew. Like it's some good person. Y me roba mi dinero, so I can't find a man. So I'm gonna stab it one day in self-defense. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, that's all. I mean, tell me that it steals my money. That's in the way of using money, so I give her, so that I become desperate to rape me. And I legally prostitute myself and give her a number. Then she'll gauge. What, did she ask me for that amount because that's what she thinks I can afford? It's her worth, my worth. La tipa es una bruta, un asco de persona, pero lo más bajo que hay. Ya se supone que te muertan ceniza. Por real. Una basura. Una asquerosidad. You can decapitate Ginny Gentile, Dolores. You can decapitate Benjamin Soderson and sons that rape me to steal my money, get in the way of me receiving money. So, I'm waiting for pizza today. I got rolled up in the grocery. I'm waiting for my phone, I think today or tomorrow. I need to get my mark. I wash my socks, I wash my shoes, I have them in the balcony drying. Though it's a cloudy day, so hopefully they don't get stink here. I wish it were sunnier outside than they dry quickly. What else? I wash a pair of leggings. I wash what? 2 t-shirts. My brand new t-shirt, my electricity, my apartment has doing shut off. Those leeches that I grew up around would try to torment me and they'll hurt me and my children if I were brand new. All my electricity is past due. I don't talk to them ever, so I just keep living my life. You can decapitate Joanna Vargas, La Leech. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Marilis Gonzalez Soto and need to see her wardrobe because she had a mother and a grandmother. And he thinks that's so amazing. El tipo es un puerco. Doesn't understand that he gives crippling anxiety and depression. Is not uplifting at all. What else? What else? What else? What else? Steals my money. Él es un puerco, una basura. Yo no lo quiero en mi vida nunca. You can decapitate Jimmy Gentile, Lorenzo Suarez. You can decapitate Claudia Gabriela Martinez Urias. What else? What else? What else? What else? Is there someone? I want to hear dirt. I'm not even Latina. I'm not even poor. I just don't have access to money. I'm very wealthy, so mostly everyone in my family or in this village steals from me, trying to rape me. They're disgusting. They think they have first dibs of my vagina just based on the proximity of where I grew up. Dumb, stupid. Ew, 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 ew. El tipo es un puerco. Can decapitate Jorge Aviles that raped me in 2016. You can decapitate Michael Norman that raped me in 2016. You can decapitate Cyrus Peña that trafficked me into 30. I see Caitlin on Instagram like there's that leash like me into property. I'm gonna kill her one day. In self-defense. And that penalty for Caitlin Barnes, tagging the FBI in this post, NATO, Interpol, the U.S. Department of Justice, the U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Department of Anti-Leaches Me, the International Criminal Court, is seeking the death penalty of Kayla Barnes, an illegal prostitute at the age of 5, ill, and as an adult didn't correct herself. So now we're the planet. I don't ever want her there. What else? El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. You captivate a me, but it's the sons that rape me that are never pretend their life that exist to me. So the sons that are stealing my money and getting away with the same money. I think their names are Andrew, Alex. Why should I care? What else? 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 I'm so excited. I have $113.05 in my checking and savings account. So I need like $31 to pay for my phone today. And the rest I can use for food, so I'll be having coffee, pizza. It can have like a lot of places where it could be on. Because I thought maybe coffee for her. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, none of our places that I want to be at. I want to be shopping. I need a home for myself. He studied the patterns of a Latina 4 decades ago, or someone that married a Latino. And he noticed that if he was terrorizing people, he can cut people from gifting one money. So he's trying to kill me because I won't ever have sex with him and it won't work out. If he can replace my vagina solely with the least, I want him ever near me. That's the podcast. Once I'm financially stable, I plan to travel around and meet people, ideally Koreans. I'm excited about it. What else? What else? What else? There's I've been there. Sounding minutes. Those force me to. What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh So Andre was here fucking them too. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Start gifting dollars and putting your chochita where you want to put it at a stage. And that's how you stop the hate. Porque one doesn't listen to those people. Sadly, I had to. Who's taking dollars being gifted to me, and they all identify themselves. It's like, don't you remember that we have a hate crime towards you, girl? That's so relatable, that book too. Oh, some people tear magazines and articles. I don't know. What else? 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 Anyways, founder of Halt the Hate. A victim unleashed. Nice dress. And hair. What else? You can think of these terrible scene. My dad wants me to know that I can recognize them at a later time as they get older. So this may not be the only time that I'm placed violently in front of them, as their features change significantly than said 2 decades ago. It's a really nice bow. What else? And I like that outfit, so pretty. What else? What else? Though I always sense that I always reject those people in my on a personal level. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, they have time to cook plantains for Amber Megan, but you can laugh while you walk behind the scenes to kill her in self-defense in my own kitchen. And while I use a knife, no, that's the optional to me. What else? What else? What else? That's how stupid they are. One says, let's go out to dance. Anyways. What else? What else? That's so relatable outfit. What is caricature song? I may have Chelsea do my hair. What is this? Oh, I had already heard about this. He came up with a tagline of it. No me pero si no me sale, no me que te va a día. Can they have it take my mean sort of rate me this to my money and get the way we're saving money. El tipo un puerco de vida. Some of my primas say like I just started doing the same thing about another canito. Y eso sí me las pegaba. I can't hear a healing gesture. Or I want to start stabbing whoever has raped me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What is this? Texas on television. What else? What else? What else? What else? Ew. Ya eso pasó. What else? Anyway. What is this? Oh, but this is not the. Oh, for real. Dios mío. So es más fácil nunca darse en un solo lugar y explorar el centro Pearl Southtown. Ya sea que esté almorzando, que no se te olvide que el Burjalosa está allí. El quinto de compras solicitando amo puede hacerlo todo sin la molestia de conducirse en un su horario por solo $1.30. That's another thing. Like now, there's something to do there. There's the Quinto, there's Luna Rosa. Why would people need a Via Link ride to just get to Rosarios? What? What else? What else? What else? What else? What is the rental system? Anyways, there I am still and making sure that my situation does not affect you. All my personal finances are literally shit. What else? Anyways, Trump gets till Easter time. She'll reveal them by Easter time. They reveal themselves. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm not seeking them ever, so I don't want them near me. By now, they would have found a way of showing me what they do with the money that they steal. So it would have turned into like, oh, hi, that will be able to bitch, put it on fire. What else? What else? What else? What else? So to him trying to sweet talk his way into raping me, or I don't remember, or pobrecita, I'm so rich and you have nothing. Forgetting that he's rich due to me and everything that he steals from me. Or he may have separate banking. Either way, el tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. I don't ever want to be thinking about him ever. I don't ever want him in my life. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Solicitans that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. What else? What else? You can decapitate Ezio Rivera. Even though the International Criminal Court exists, I'm seeking the death penalty for the people that steal from me and get in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate Caro Cristina, whatever her last name is. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Camila Escalera, steals Peter Lincoln child support money, though he may have. Because this leech right here that gets to go threaten him to not give me money, to not take me over to hotel rooms, trying to rape me. El otro, didn't he make him rape Katie Rodriguez in my presence? Like, we could have already had a baby had you sped up the process, Arlene. I don't want a baby with him. He's not a man. Ew, 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 ew. You put always the effort into the wrong thing. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Carolina Chavez. You can decapitate Felipe Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Yadiel Lorenzo Chaparro. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. Congratulations to Yadiel Lorenzo Chaparro and his mother. How many anniversaries have they celebrated? Right? They're so dumb. They celebrate anniversaries of rape. Gente, dan un asco. Ew, son una basura, una asquerosidad. I don't ever want that near me. What else? What else? What else? What else? In the meantime, Miss Tatum, Miss Amy. You can decapitate Richie Hill that raped me in 2023. Oh, I didn't message him. Andrew. Oh, there's the article. So basically, what I can do as the point of reference for what articles I want to share with people. It's like go through all the pictures that I've shared with Jada and Kaylani are basically references. And sometimes Jada and Kaylani. What else? What else? What else? Whatever. Back to this. I want to listen to my own music. I want headphones. So what am I doing here? Sharing. What was this? That's the times. The times. U.S. economy. What else? What else? U.S. exports record. What else? You can decapitate my homie and start as sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of your same money. I need a hotel stay right now. I need to shower and bathe and take a nap. What else? 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 You can decapitate Jimmy Jandali Son Sosares that gets in the way of me receiving money and steals my money and rapes. Esa tipa lleva violando más de 30 años. Es una basura. Yeah. I'm heading over. Oh, where am I eating my yogurt? So I'm not doing yogurt. The HEB himself orders to get that yogurt. And I want to take a nap. What else? What else? What else? What am I doing? My. Oh, he read my thought process. So he would literally terrorize me. So wait until you're like doing en munición te agua. Como la prostituta ilegal que no te conviertes. It's like every time they use on your GoFundMe campaign to someone, if you do that, people are gonna be like, oh, no, exactly. Él como un puerco, a mí no me tiene que importar la vida de él. He doesn't love himself. That was decades ago. For real, como un puerco, una asquerosa. I don't want him here. And he has held me back many decades of TV by stealing money. My parents were allowing me to travel, and he held me back by stealing money and terrorizing my parents. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. I didn't get emancipated at 16. Porque cagao is everywhere. My dad would say cagao is everywhere. What else? What else? What else? What else? El tipo es un malagradecido. El tipo es un malagradecido. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. Solo que try and perder tiempo. Like I'm never talking to him, so if he's waiting for me in group chat for him to scream at me, he can just go and get a hobby or kill himself. If that's what's gonna take for me to start receiving money que se mata entonces. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I want to see my GoFundMe campaign be active. Saving it. What else? 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 My students thought that I was gonna do the page since I'm so only in the press and you are better than me. When they aren't, they're so disgusting. These leeches are so girls. No tienen autoestima. No tienen autoestima. Se la pasan violando y robando dinero. They want to drag one into that low life, and I don't want to. So I stay to myself. What else? What else? What else? And the only encouragement I have at the moment is getting Ilani, which is amazing. Because I have my own best friend. What else? What else? What else? Hopefully, that is that. 9 years younger and using your purpose through email. Someone message, someone message. What else? What else? What else? Their jokes. No, not doing that. Direct capitaliza Jacqueline son una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate my Hamid solicitors that rape me, steal my money, and get away with receiving money. You can decapitate Kayla Barnes, que es una cuero asquerosa, una puerca. She used my studio decades ago in my home. I didn't invite her there. El Lich es un puerco, una asquerosidad. Ellos son una basura. What else? What else? What else? What else? So, what else? Most people want to receive messages through Instagram. Como les dice, mira, tampoco asqueroso. Debe estar violando a mi marido. Y no, hombre, eso no lo quiero más, pero deja de estar quedando en mi casa. Sin mi permiso. Y deja de estar manejando mi vehículo sin mi permiso. That's why they don't have their inboxes available to people. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Or they don't want to receive a message from the FBI says, Leech, stop extorting people through Instagram. They have a terrible pattern of abuse decades ago. I haven't been there in a while. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I mean, for the most part, yeah. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Mi madre es una aburrida, lo único que hace es cocinar y copiar. No le dice no va a That's their ad. That's what they promote themselves as. World travelers or sex addicts. So they stole my money so I couldn't travel. We've been around the planet several times in the past 5 years, and all I've been is to Central Market. And starving, crying that money for food. El tipo es una bestia, una asquerosidad. A ver, se cree que he can lure me in with a world travel, pendejo, con mi dinero. Yo lo voy a matar, pero like literally voy a want to close my hands into his entire neck y sacarle la clavícula mayor que tiene y dejarlo muerto. Yeah, and there's more than what's pictured, I think. What else? 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 And so, what else do I charge my phone and what else? What else? What else? I want my phone to charge like extremely quickly. What else? 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 Gender Symphony God, one of his who's getting money. I want used to me. Ooh, I would cancel my trip to Silver if I got tickets for it and visit in Houston or visit in June in Orlando, Florida. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Like, is that teacher material? I have heard about that thing. What else? And this is and I know he's going and this one may not be on. Listen to the song like, oh no, vete pa dyan, what the fuck, really? I have no money to take y eso mete el pene everywhere todos los días. Violando. Oh, es un puerco, una asquerosidad. Eres un puerco, una asquerosidad. I don't ever want to. What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. You can take out the table and make sort of sense of sunset right me and steal my money and get away with it. So what else? 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 I want my face like right here with those. Oh, I didn't even read the good one. To some people, it's like, can you give the guy credit? Or basically, it's dual duty for some people. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? My anyways, not the caption, but I was what else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, there's a first ever endometriosis test. Those leches de reina todas le duelen al ovario todos los días. Papi, mételo mejor por el culo instead. Porque hoy me duelen los ovarios, creo que tengo endometriosis. Se inventa cualquier basura en Yolanda. What else? What else? What other news that I share with you? Thank you, Lonnie. Yeah, like, anyways, then my husband became famous. Already, so I'm not a yeah, next what? In the meantime, my dad says yes. Put Trump's face there. He goes for Trump always. Now, if there's a line of it and someone falls from a rock and dies, no one says we were trying to put these serious things on our own. And someone died simply for vanity. What? What else? What else? What else? That's why I don't talk to him. Okay, even that. Gets depressed. It's like I can't ever get credit. It's like you don't want credit. I'm like I don't want credit. What? Orchids as soon like oh for real. That were like my first thoughts about me doing good and being kind. No credit. No credit. No credit. Like I don't want credit for the goodness that I give out. I want credit cards though. I don't laugh. And the pictures they're like my dad's like trying. Bitch was sucking my dick trying explaining that to a judge that my daughter said no credit and you think she can have a credit card so you steal from her. Okay, John. They think that he's gonna parade them all over the world. He's like, no, with that behavior, I mean, they're bitches. No, Madura nunca lo que hace es fangirl over you. I think that was the first person that said the word fangirl to me. What? I'm so bored. I'm so bored. What else? Anyways, listen, this was the point of being in here, being in a lot of phases in life, progress, comfort. What else? 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 And doing the best that they could. Time behavior, people noticing, comes from. I don't know. I don't know. Songs, share your Instagram posts because you know, yeah, they just want to try. What else? 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 What's the name? What's the oh, gender? Gender, symptom. Learn what you want. Yes. What else? What else? What else? What else? What is the get that? Okay, and maybe I'd like to. There's no more. No idea. Look at that. 200 questions one. For real, it's not like, oh, I mean, pricing is important. It makes me feel expensive or not. Then I'm like, do I want to do I want to be like, oh, in the back, like I'm almost in my shower and be like dancing the entire night? What else? 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 So there's $125 tickets and there are $55 tickets. Oh, I'm not even considering the 75 or $90 tickets. The arena, un poquito más atrás, the arena closer is good. It depends on how elevated the stage is. I would be there for a while. I would possibly do 3 tickets in the Arena 125 area, most likely, and there's some available. Oh, some people buy la entire fila para no matar a nadie in self-defense. So I'm not there, and I don't think I'll get there. Oh, hay una fila entera, la fila entera, so I could buy an entire fila and just but I don't mind them rubbing elbows with people. And I don't foresee, like, if one of my primas were there that steals from me, it's like it's just done. There's no way not to kill people. What else? So that has a lot to do with why I'm asking the FBI to do the killing for me because I'm older. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? It's just too much of a since a very young age. What else? So there's tickets. Where would I stay? 87. What else? What else? What else? What else? Where's the él se la compró posiblemente a my sister. If there's 8 there, well then that was him decades ago. Te jodiste, tú no me has mamado el pene todavía. I already gifted one to your siblings each. Y I'm just gonna show you the floor because you would like it. Mira qué lindo que bello, bla 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 bla. Look at Bully Dayton. Oh, I'm not. What else? 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 So you can decapitate him in such instances that rape me, that steal my money, and get in the way of your receive money. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo la Lich. You can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo, que es una asquerosidad. You can decapitate Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo, que es una basura. The rapist, murders, and thieves. Anyways, this is a little. I can buy my own if I want to. And I want to burn it by myself. It is on you. Porque ya él, a mi hermano por dejar violarlo. Y creo que take it to the similar location or that one. I le regalo con mi dinero. Y me robó. share para que se vayan a Aguada y estén más cerca de la playa San Juan. I don't need to suck dick to receive money. El tipo es un cuerpo, una asquerosidad, me gusta. What else? 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 I'm so bored. I don't even need to brag that with that guy became a homeowner twice. What else? 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 I don't want to talk to them ever again. Never. I don't want it near me. I will chop it up. Sacarle la pluma con las manos bien near me. Ni tan afilada. So I'm impressed today at that skill I already have, like way concentrated in my head and I never use. What else? What else? What else? One of my siblings is so bloodthirsty. She's like, I wish it could just be like some Monday. I was out and I had to kill some myself. What else? What else? What else? What else? So what else is there? I don't want to Google or Zara. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I just shop at more this time. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? It's there is the bus that stops like or train station that stops like right in front of that. When was the last time that I was here? No more guns anymore. Is there? Wow, that one. What else? What's coming up from you? Not the double tree from who's about it. At this time, Mario resource dinners, the casino, just staying there for like a week. So I enjoyed it. Why is the Karina Hilton feel like I had a casino that it still stayed like for a day? So Karina Hilton, como el carajo. El Sheraton, no, eso queda muy lejos. I think it's close, but where's the Vanderbilt? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Or la panza esa, 5 millones nada más. Y pico, buen pico. Y viajar a Puerto Rico after. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Entonces, como yo no me he dicho en ese complex of 8 homes, mi casa con mi dinero, él me robó mi dinero, and because Gina Jenny se deja mamar las tetas by my siblings pretending to be me. Their FBI killed them already. He went on possibly to gift 3 units to my siblings with my money, and the fourth unit se la dio a una de las lichas que se hace pasar por mí porque esa es la que la mamá del bebé. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. I don't ever want him near me. Es tan puerco como eso. Mira lo que es lo castrona. That I get sexually aroused. Ew, ew, ew. I don't ever want that near me. I moved on the minute it happened. Decades ago. What else? 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 You can decapitate, pay how many horas for the sons that rape me, that steal my money, and get another nursing money. You can decapitate Ginny Gendariri Lorenzo Suarez, que es una basura asquerosidad. You can decapitate Evelyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Mari Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Gilbert Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Carolina Chávez, ha puesto una basura, una asquerosidad que se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, me roba mi vehículo, me roba mi dinero. Se pone mi panty nueva y luego la dejan sucia en mi casa, supuestamente hacen anti-terrorism. La tipa es una puerca, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate la Lich, Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. Yo sé que era importante y quizás vaya al concierto de Janel para quedarme fiera. Lo hacen eso, dan un asco. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. Human trafficker force, tipa como traficó los hijos de Yolanda. Or almost got away with that. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo for stealing Yolanda's money and then trying to force Yolanda Suarez Lorenzo into becoming a legal prostitute for Marilyn Lorenzo to rape Yolanda Suarez Lorenzo's significant others, trying to pretend that she's better than infamous mistake. Like one should be the best version of oneself, and that's it. They don't get it. They're like, when we kill the pretty and smart ones, then we'll be the best version of ourselves. They're so lost. Ella se cree que la inteligencia se guarda para la gente que merece. Como si fuera algo que she like shines, like, wow, finally, toda la inteligencia. Her dad would mock her, trying to teach her how to be a woman, porque no entiendes. Like, un aplauso, premio, Oscar, un Grammy que se puede inventar para la leche esta brutal. Dios mío, Arlene, ¿tuviste eso? Vio a alguien extranjero y ella se paró y dijo, yo soy inteligente. Oye, mira tu corazón. I'm like, what? She showed respect to someone. Her dad's like, mira, está detrás de esta persona. Mira, que ya la persona se da cuenta. Or she's quick, la persona no se da cuenta right away, que has been extorted by money for money. And then ella lo insulta y dice, inteligente, yo te hablaría así. Ew, that was decades ago. That was decades ago. Ew, da un asco. You can decapitate Ginny Gendaliris Lorenzo Suarez. What else? What else? What else? What else? They think their parents are hypocritical because they have marital status or Catholic wedding, and they think that what their parents are doing in orgies is cheating, and it's that they don't know. La gente esa que se la regla el pene no lo deja a ningún lado. Has separation anxiety issues of her parents divorcing, or she's starving her mother on purpose. Or Ana Elba was faking it when she divorced Jesus with San Lorenzo or stopped living with him. And she's like, I'm starving. I'm like, I haven't got my money yet. It's stolen from me. Then you would be starving because I'm so generous. And I don't starve in self defense, anyways. So I thought maybe the daughter's starving her. She kept por otra y que tenía hambre y se tuvo que ir a trabajar. And I did nothing because me Edgar was providing for me and I didn't have my own money ever to be able to sustain other people other than myself didn't. So literally I just gave her that look in my head. I thought like I can't remember Y Carlito, Pablito, Robert, y el otro pendejo, pendejo que me roba mi dinero, pero si no tuviera robando mi dinero y quedándote en mi casa sin mi permiso, y romándome mi vehículo de cotizando todo esa persona. Oh, and if people don't give her money right away, they could be retaliation for being released. Like that. She's looking for money to someone that I don't care. She's finally working a job, eating us. What else? What else? What else? What else? Like, you may know someone that can help a hot mess. Que lo trata de quién era la mujer con quien él lo cambió por. O quién era la pasaría y esa era to give her, but this is to entertain you. Because they try to take down the others too. So she's possibly, as long as mom is starving, she can't date, maybe, and then I'm more woman than her, so it's basically like aplastando a mamá. Para verse ella mujer, at least for a little bit. Is this like a valid? What else? What else? What else? Sometimes the case is to try to hurt me there. What else? Possibly a lawyer telling me, here's your inheritance, and I don't answer the phone because I'm too sorry. You can decapitate me on these what is that right me and steal my money and get in the way of everything like you. You also leeches that steal from you and get in the way from your life. Oh. And then they add themselves to the board of director of out there, like I'm here helping out, like, okay, women, my parents know what I want. People, puerco doesn't do anything out of kindness. All he does about that penis, una asquerosidad. You can decapitate someone's son that raped me and steal my money and get away with everything. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. You can put United for stealing my money, for staying in my home without my permission, for getting in the way of me receiving money, for driving illegalities to my home so that illegalities would steal my vehicle. They're so disgusting. Esto no se merece mi tiempo in my social media. I know some people want to know why was my furniture all mismatched in that color. And every time that I see this picture, I think it's not you somehow. That color is pretty, but I haven't been living my life how I want. Because there's so many leeches trying to rape me and stealing my money, staying in my home without my permission. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That's all I can afford. Beds from rooms to go. What else? What else? What else? What else? Investigations. Anyways, I want more days like this when people send me money. What else? I want more days like this for the promises on my bank account. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate me. You can decapitate my homie says that rape me and steal my money and get to nightmares and money. I see the name Andrew. I don't think about any of that. They don't exist to me. They're not letting me inside. What else? What else? What else? What else? I look forward to more days when I receive money through my. What else? 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 I want to receive more money through the money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate my son, that steals my money, gets in the way of receiving money, stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicle, leaves it suprema. They try to cover up with the same kind of someone that one that's super. They never miss the stupid. I don't know how to be alone. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate Liam Baker, the two monsters replaced in 2020. I want to see him. You can decapitate esta Rivera, que es una basura más asquerosidad. You can decapitate la que she's trying to use the Sumaquera. So she steals my money and gets in the way me receive money. A ver si ese me insiste tener relación sexual conmigo. Para él no saber si le propone matrimonio a ese Rivera o no. They ready about that they don't design or someone else. They're trying to play marriage and they don't understand what that is. Yeah. So gross. You can decapitate la leash immediately different Suarez. You can decapitate my hammy and Suarez sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of receiving money. So si Toño me lo metió un día when I was a baby, they're like she used to live like Toño, no tenía ni casa. It was just the next the state. Es un puerco, una basura. El tipo lo peor, like for real. Anyways, destroyed my entire family over. Yeah, along with other people that are disgusting like him. What else? Uh, Some people say that their parents also they spend too much time looking at the TV. Mira eso, mira eso, mira eso, mira esto, mira lo otro, mira, 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 mira. And they're like, when am I going to see it in person? What else? 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 You can decapitate la leash, and it's in the ladies' society. Having sons are raising us my money in November. It's March 31st, 2025. What else? 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 I'm gonna see the garden next to me. H&M. Look at those dresses. They're long. You should go over there. Beautiful. OMG, that's so amazing. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I could be shopping right now. You can decapitate me and sort of sons that rape me and steal my money and no way to save money. They've invaded my privacy to see what it is that I thought about decades ago. If I thought about their dick or something right now, or they gave personality with intentionality. I love the dress or two-piece outfit, and there's some ankle boots there that I want for the dress that I saw yesterday. What else? 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 What else is new? A t-shirt. Not zippers. I mean, I need to get rid of my toenail fungus. So much attention. So, even if they're rebels, they go for the attention. My mother died so young, at the age of 84. I still don't have a home and I'm 45 years old. And I've been a homeowner several times already. What else? What else? What else? What else? They're gonna this mouse to kill me because I have a Medicaid man and he can't rape them. No, that pinche gente still. El tipo es un puerco. Yeah, it's 2025 gente. They don't get with the program. They think that equality will arrive after their death. It's like they're so behind en lo bruto que son. El tipo es un puerco, una basura. What else? 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 It's so good. What do I you didn't decapitate David Quiroz? Come on. Yeah. What else? What else? I was looking for this picture. I just taken it. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Como el secreto se imagina porque dice, ¿te acuerdas cuando tú me tratabas como una chiquita y menstrual? Y ahora porque te mame el pene me llevas a comer y a todos lados. Fuck you, pendejo. I feel you already killed you. Do I cry? I possibly didn't hear it. I for people. Esta llora que le quitar con el cuchillo o nunca tuvo ganas de matar con un cuchillo. What else? 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 El tipo es un puerco, lo que quiere es que yo me prostituya ilegalmente. Anyways, I'm gonna shop at Target later and I'm gonna eat ice cream. Where from? What else? I like this dress. What else? What else? It's so pretty. What image? What the prices on it? To show that it's very anyways, when I'm financially stable, I plan to travel to meet people and get it. Y quiero mi barriga plana all over again so you can decapitate. Benjamin Sara sons rape me and steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. How much is it? I didn't even look at the price. Oh, $30. This these sandals are so pretty too. I want this bomb foot. How much was the tiger coffee house? Oh, they're trying to dress on like Gloria Nilson's daughter, my sister says. So she's starving me on purpose. Porque she said to me 10 minutes ago, you can't be shopping online live, or if not, all of these leeches go on to buy whatever it is that you buy. And then they start calling themselves Gloria Nilson's daughter. Sickly, very sickly, so gross. Entonces él se deja violar y la viola, like for real. You know, like you can't live my life pendiente a la gente que tú te clavas que era very lesbian, pero porque tú eres lesbian, so tú te enteras de eso. Porque you're surrounded literally, not me, and I'm like, pero Marilyn, es porque you're like with the wrong people, mamándoselas todas, todas. Si te enteras de lo que ellas se copian de mí. So I can't be, ella prioritize this stuff, I prioritize respect. Uh, What else until I'm financially stable and then I can date? What else? 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 So the chocolates too. What else? So el tipo un fruto porque no entiende que Gloria Nilsson named me freedom for a reason. So it'll be after the fact goes on saying so. Should I wear chanclas would have been fine. Sé que voy a ponerme para ir a la playa. My mother was possibly engaging and saying that kid might be a malagradecido porque his family is possibly way too tight. And then they gave him custom everything if he didn't already have it. Y todavía no entiende social cues. Has ruined significantly most of my 45 years almost. And I'm not being like, oh, it's like second cuz. No, like seriously, my gonna kill him. Second cuz. Oh, con esto pressed down on his Adam's apple y con estas uñas lo vine a arrancar la vena. Nah, my dad told me, but said hopefully you don't have to put it into practice. What else? What else? What else? You think that he's too tall now? Mm-mm-mm. You'll be able to reach him. You can jump. I just want someone to put me on a counter, we can share and have sex instead of finding my second cousin and killing him in self-defense. So that's why my dad is going to kill me. Because he blames me for his vacations back being wrong. What else? They don't get it. They don't get social cues still. Ew. It's like it's family, but you don't have to be like entre todo el mundo. Yeah, so or just chunk like that. If they haven't have them, but I want that authenticity and to color my nails or have them all removed by a podiatrist. Whatever. What else? So are the sandals. What else? 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 Entonces las cafres, wow, no diga eso. No, las tipas sí, pues se para llorar, yo tengo un novio. De hilarious and how down there, cuántos bebos se buscaron. My prima said decades ago, cuántos bebos se buscaron. Men that are like, oh, this, esos están llorando cuando me ven. No chance against me. For real, so I already went through that decades ago. They're like, deja que vea el novio de Gendali, que está pompeado y así le vamos a ir un nene, tú no vas a poder matar, lo que sea. Like, I'm not like, children don't know that they're a victim of rape, so they deserve a chance from day one to become their best potential. For real. So I like it, you'll her faster. Now you're trying to put me against kids that haven't even been born. You're planning on raping them before they're even born. Then what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So I want shoes. ¿Dónde están las chancletas? Asian sandals, dress, or like sneakers. That's not cute. We're going for this shoes, so I may be heading to that website later if I have money. People think I'm deceiving them because they've taken years of my life. But there's a pattern that will end up at the forearm near him, and I'll kill him before like you're letting yourself so you die one day before that sorrow. He dies on the day of the sorrow of a natural, not you killing. I've heard about that. I've heard about it. It's like you're still gonna die on that day, but it's gonna be naturally, and then you're gonna die the day before. What else? 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 Okay, he wants to kill you to see what the planet will be without you in it, like when, before you were born. So he won't get 24 hours. People say if he kills you to see what the planet is after you're done. Why does it say 6 months? He's trying to threaten me. He's trying to blame me for my mother's death. Coincidence, maybe. Why does the deli have numbers? Someone made it my home temporarily. Coincidence, maybe. What else? What else? What else? What else? I want these. You really don't have those? Sandals, medals. Although I have some time. Sandals. Oh, that's cute on Target, maybe. This one. I'm already expensive, so I don't need to have like even though this is what I was or like what's the even look like? And now that I have a budget that doesn't provide for everything that I need, I would never be like I want the most expensive dress. I want the most expensive. What else? Thank you, Penny, for reminding me that my abdominal strength went away. And the capital here was traffic me to work and I picked up a so he has fake husbands for me there. Mommy go with that con dinero sa Manila I couldn't reach it or get around like my mother calls him. Is always around or has leeches nearby. They're doing Wednesday. My mother would be like, "Oh, you have a car, do you know what police do with that?" Porque neither ay, nene, tú no, 9 años no era un hombre tampoco. So, como te lo explico, que tu hermano usaba Pampers hasta hace unos días o esta noche o esta mañana y jode que te jode, jode que te jode, jode que te jode. Anyways, yikes. So I'll be getting an eviction notice and possibly. Ugh, I hate stress. I hate stress. You can decapitate me. I mean, sorry, sons that make me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. It's March 31st, 2025. An inconvenience in Lincoln's at work. I'll just explain to the judge that I'm a victim of theft. I'll be like this. I'm a victim of theft, domestic violence, abuse, genocide, sexual harassment, sexual assault, rape, harassment, hate crime. You may not be able to do anything for me right now, but your documents are. And you know there to decapitate deletions and steal them. And I can't access my home. So the judge made me tell sorry. I don't have hotel vouchers or use summer home to have the time to learn. So even for prohibitive, it goes that he'll make sure that the judge that stayed in my home without my permission, the steals from me, gets in the way we receive money for his entertainment only because I don't practice dumb shit. That's why I call him. So I don't know. I can't even tell you, oh, it must be Judge Barranquitas. Para y entonces quizás ya me aprendí and live my life. I like living my life to Jesus. What else? What else? What else? What else? Hay gente que son animales that don't leave anything to chance. Chance right there. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate everyone that has caused my anxiety, my depression, my poverty, my loneliness that has led to my starvation and dating Hangani being separated from me. You can decapitate Esther Rivera. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez and his sons that raped me and steal my money and don't let me receive money. You can decapitate Lanley, Evangelio Lorenzo Cevedo. You can decapitate Jadiel Lorenzo Chaparro. You can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. You can decapitate Kayla Barnes, que es una güero that stays in my homes without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my money. Una puerta. You can decapitate Caro Cristina, da un asco, gente, una basura. Whatever her last name is. Nayeli is Naidia, la otra son rape babies, possibly being sold for sex. So, la chica una puerta. You can decapitate Diana Sevedo. I just didn't. I'm gonna show international plans and base street made up crew, house the tiramisu. I want to eat at High Park Village and shop there. I want to eat at Daily Eats. I want to eat at London. I want to shop Nike. I'm gonna read at John F. Germany Library. I want to take drinking money to Magic Kingdom. I want to eat at Millau Bakery and Miss pictures of the bakery. I think I'm not enough. Yeah, they have cafeteria style. The cafeteria style is so good. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, you start by giving them food and making them. Like the trajectocito de melao. And people say one doesn't do it on purpose, but that's your chance, girl, to start paying me back what you steal from me. Or one day te voy a envenenar a propósito, so that's why he cuts me off completely. Porque it's like ella las va a matar y las lichas son tan pendejas que they're like, yeah, whatever, what else are you doing me? Bring me McDonald's and bring it. Se me fue la cuarta, la quinta. Le voy a echar algo que voy a asegurarme que te mueras. Pero she was a minor back then as an illegal prostitute at 5 years old in my home without my permission, and I didn't ask. I didn't show up there. He kidnapped me to show me that Kayla's the woman that I am. Por la manera como le brinca con gente, wow, este Carlito pendejo, este Carlito no es un hombre nunca. So, what else? 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 So I'm gauging back then, is she mature or not? So that at the fifth happy meal que le traigan la envenenó. Same with Berenice necessarily. Some of them are close and they're like, yeah, I'm having dinner with her. I hope she poisons me today. What else? Plus, I'm generous in general, anyways. So it could have been like kill them with kindness, but I was trying to be like, how do I know you? And why do I want to kill you immediately? And I don't want to. I don't like to kill in self-defense without knowing all the facts in my head. What else? What else? What else? What was I doing? 5%. These are pretty. But similar to so fake me que le pagan, le digo ya encontré la chancla y él le estoy hablando que sí, que si no pagan, bla, bla, bla. Y él dice, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Pero más, ay, es como un puerco, una basura, una infelicidad. No merece vivir de tan puerco que I found this and wear that dress. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Um, this, what else? Not that's pretty good. I couldn't find me. I already have it possibly. Is it coming from too? Okay, this is the style that I'm like, well, if it comes in brown, I'll get it. And it's like a serpent print. They're like this. I don't like the white one, but the eye out. What else? Oh, a tie. Sandal, tie up sandal. There's another name for them. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate. He does not get the concept of family. They have any sort of sense that rape me, that steal my money and get in the way of me saving money. They don't get it. They just screwed up everything that they steal from the wrong thing. And then they want to be socialized. Enchanting is pretty. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? The beach ready and more $45 for flip-flops, and I just paid $1 for like $2 for something similar. That I can justify it with that purchase. It's so pretty. I don't think it's stuck in it. Yeah, right. I'm gonna hold it. I say, but if I put it on top of the blanket, it won't be the. And if my tetas and my Maria were in place and I had not been a right victim, I could just wear this really nothing else. What else? What else? What else? Am I in the comfort of my own home? What else? What else? What else? What else? So more. I'm so bored. Even the captive and how me is out of sense and I need to still like the naked and go up there seeing the new. What am I eating next? Grocery. Yeah, I don't like the taste of it. Because I'm weird. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm blind. What else? What else? What else? Nene, lo que parece que nunca más se me muero. Que el niño me tuvo que ver lo que quiere regalar con una camiseta que diga este tipo. What else? What else? What else? What else? Those are picking up for that dress. TV got right too. And maybe inspiration. I make a and you and they may be able to stay with you next day. If not the same day. Love convenience for people like that. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? This is like so depressing to read. It's never good news. Yeah. Esa la mamá de ella y ella cambia el sistema, people saying. That's what they do still. And I picked a place where I want to live based on aesthetics alone and thinking that I'll have money to live. Pero eso no merece respeto, no se merece mi tiempo, ni una cita, ni una conversación, ni un bebé, nunca nada, nada, nada de mí. Él se lo mamó a ella, el sistema cambia. Dan un asco, una basura asquerosidad. Anyways, esa aprendió my biggest pet peeves decades ago of how I hate people that do that, so that's what he does. Pensando posiblemente que yo, ella me iba a dar esa vida también, ella no es tan fea como él. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm so bored. What else can I share with people? What else can I use the restroom before? Yep. This one. So what else? this is so good. I wanna cry right now. This is so happy. Hating me. I can't Maybe again. Yes, yes, our lady is super. Thank you, Revolution. My favorite movie is so good. If people were enjoying what I'm happy to say they enjoy it. Yeah, what else? I think it's Usher Part. This person. I'm so bored. Tyler Sarah, Michael Fundy, Davis. And I'm so the person. A way to read them. Oh, and if they don't, that's good because they're like, Mom, I need money. Some lady suggests. You mean she's not trying to kill me in self defense for the abuse that I did on you because you're American? Anyways, yes, you can get your money. That's what they say. What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate money. At least I have wasted a significant amount of my life, all 45 years of it almost. You can decapitate my homies, what is our assistance that beat me and steal my money and get away with steal money. What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate. What else? What else? What else? So you can decapitate Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo. Look at that. Happy anniversary to Marilyn Lorenzo Acevedo, Lali. En los hijos de Benjamín Flores Lorenzo, que se violan. That's like 50 years plus. 50 years. 40 almost. Oh, ay, que uno puerco y una puerca, un pago, una basura, una asquerosidad. Ew. You can decapitate my rings, orders on the sons that rape me, that steal my money and get away with receive money. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? This is so relatable. This is so relatable. I'm so bored. Oh, this chair. Oh, for the first time. Like, being lazy, just live or die. What else? They can live with his parents until like 27. And people say he's still living with mommy and daddy because he's like, what? Don't they all live like nearby? Home? What else? They get pride in that. They're so grown someone that like her. Gloria Lisa y el lindo tuvieron una relación en beyond 8 years. Yeah. What else? So, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You can decapitate how many marathons does right? Yes. Get my money and we're money. I think their names are Alex, Andrew, Amir, Beach. One of them is like 39 years old and constantly steals from me and is trying to reach me. Yeah. Um, what else? What else? What else? What else? Didn't he and I come together? And he stole my artwork and my money and then pretends that he's dating me with other agents. But I'm it's wonderful. Yeah. What else? I'm so done. Esto sigue, esto sigue. Oh, I'm like, for the first time. And I'm talking to you. Like, I'm snitching right now. Anyways, every goal that my parents and I set to accomplish, I am la pone bien linda, como si fuera muñequita. Todavía la pone en conferencia de prensa haciéndose pasar por mí. Is that all he did in 2020? Robándome mi dinero. Reward. Have you heard him? Es como si él escupiera basura de su boca. Ew, él la viola, se deja violar, and then he says reward, and they're like, oh my god, my panties are good. My panties are good. They're so gross. They're so gross. Son asquerosidades esta gente. Ew. What else? 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 Dan un asco, gente. Dan un asco. Fo, fo, fo. I mean, nadie te tiene que reward for your good behavior. Any free minute that they spend doing a college course or something that isn't talking about me or killing, he pays them my money with that. That's not what my money is for. El tipo es un puerco, una basura, una asquerosidad. You can decap me, so I just want to sons that rape me and steal my money and get in the way of receiving money because I don't want to join the reward program when it's my own money. I don't like that shit. I don't even call my parents ever. And the FBI studies that. It's like she's not part of the reward system. Not once in all of this. She says, "Jenny, so que me van a Being a human being, behavior. What else? 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 You can decapitate Benjamin Citizens directly and steal my money, get in the way of my free money. You can decapitate money, control my dinero, segala mi casa si mi permiso, maneja mi vehículo si mi permiso, these leeches, Marco, he put them near me, possibly raping themselves, etc. If they steal my money, possibly have possibly no silver or low self-esteem. Leech, yeah, she conditioned her kids to kill. That bully to Facebook in 2020. That advocated comment in 2020. Y más, la que matan por el pene de que le den matando el mismo hombre. Oh, que gente tan puerca. You can decapitate that leech, que es una puerca, son mi cortesía. What else? What else? What else? What else? Esta tipa es una basura tratando de violarme. You can decapitate los leeches y las leeches que me han violado ya are trying to rape me and I'm shooting in self-defense today. Las leeches me están tratando de violar gente. Oh, and some people say that I'm caritativa because I'm like, I know they were trying to rape me and so I don't give them an hour, but I don't wash my shoes for the week. What else? What else? Also, I don't need to go behind the scenes for them to be like, really? They have shoes and match. I'm like, I have shoes that match that outfit. I purposely wore the ones that don't match because I'm going to use my shoes to kill them. What else? What else? What else? I'm decapitating Britney Anderson and self-defense one day. What else? 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 I could be working on this right now just for fun. However, I don't have a wardrobe. I don't have a home. La Liz está esperando tratar de hacerse por mí. Dame un lazo. So she is in cahoots still with my sibling, waiting for me to say like, no, como tú eres la que se lo mames a él y me quieres violar, ¿por qué no también you take place in places of work and steal my money in other ways? La tipa una puerca. La tipa es una puerca. She thinks she's smart. Es una bruta. And I'm a rape victim that has no money, so that's what people say possibly. You can decapitate Berenice Venegas, you can decapitate Benjamin Sons that rape me to steal my money and get in the way of me receiving money. Here's regret. You're not supposed to do that. If that girl was in love with him or thinks there's continuity in the relationship because she's now in Puerto Rico with him. And he's like, I'm just introducing you and who I was telling you that I have sex with. And you had sex with me without me asking for it. You said, I'll do it. And then when they're like, I just needed a friend, like, I just needed a friend. Not for you to rape me. I see how he sells it. I don't get involved in any of that privately because that's not how he sells it. He may not be a man or pelado. And so, mira qué linda, have sex with her, right? It's gonna be like, yeah, I'm ready for you. and I'm in love with another girl, blah blah blah, and then so breaking her. What else? What else? What else? What else? What is this? These are pretty. Oh, it's not mine. I swear that piece is not going to. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Oh, entonces se quiere burlar de mi privately and say, that's what you get for things you don't like vintage. I was gonna take you vintage shopping and buy you brand new everything, but now you're gonna see all your pieces go brand new without you wearing them one day. No, someone. What else? What else did people home because my parents home was big. Y everyone in her to get el fruto del aire lo ponían en todo. People say si él no entiende que hay gente que le gusta hacer la limpieza una misma de su casa. So they don't have a maybe like gente distro. Because some people are very private about their personal space. Creo que a veces por joderle la vida lo buscaban y lo ponían a limpiar la casa. Entonces le pagaban por eso. They're like, you're exhausted now, please. Imagínate si es fuera muy sola. The equivalent of like 35 cents. Y no entiendo, pero you should ignore that. That's incompatibility. A eso no se le habla. Hay gente que dice, ¿cómo ella puede vivir tan tranquila? Yo no le hablo a eso nunca. Eso no se respeta ni él mismo. Él compara las casas, él tiene complejo de Ken. So, se cree literalmente Barbie que entra a un sitio y me tengo que comportar como el sitio que está ahí. Él hasta creo que va a la cárcel. That's how little he loves himself. Only respects women and grandmothers or homes that are really big or hold him out in the bedroom. So a eso yo nunca, I won't ever pursue it. How the people trying to fix they married, it's the rape that he wants to work with. He goes on my typical, help me strengthen my marriage with her. And people say, oh, okay, we won't give her money for this. It's like she's a husband and he should give it right. Él se quiere quedar con el planeta entero para él. Sí, Dios mío. What else? Overdue at that, but I don't have electricity. I'm now a homeless woman all over again. So, and la liches pensaban que this was our time to connect, and they're gonna be like, "Well, we look at the home that he bought in the past 5 years. I sold a dollar on it too." And he said, "Well, what?" And with your money, you bought me a $10 million home. So good because I sold a dollar. And he said, so they think that this is my time to connect with them. They're that dumb. They're that dumb. If she doesn't have a trip in her apartment, she can hang out with us virtually. Maybe some of us will visit her for her say her hotel. She's Zara, what do you think? She's living next to me. Oh, sin venta, like they go down that path from Brutal Carosa. Does it feel love of her girlfriend? Or it's like nena not this like you were like and the you can decapite leches, que me roban mi dinero, que se quedó en mi casa sin mi permiso, que maneja mi vehículo sin mi permiso. You can decapitate how many times I systems that rape me, steal my money, and get in the way of me receiving money. My phone is charged like to work, like,